wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve, coming to you from Conway, Arkansas, and we are working our way through the Enchiridion. The version of the Enchiridion I am reading is called Epictetus, the Discourses and Manual, together with fragments of his writings, translated with introduction and notes by P.E. Matheson, and this is from 1916, published by Oxford at the Clarendon Press. And I found this translation online, and I've been using it for this series because it's pretty easy to read. Some of these translations are a little outdated sounding. This one is pretty good. I also like it because it includes little notes next to the translation, little bits of feedback, little bits of information as you go through it. So it's a good translation. I recommend you check it out if you're looking for a public domain translation. We're going to hear from the Enchiridion chapters 26, 27, and 28 today. They're not necessarily super related readings, but they do, of course, have some things in common, but some of them are very short. I didn't want to do a whole episode with a one-sentence reading, so we put 3 together this week. I want to thank my patrons for supporting the show. And those of you who have recently joined, thank you very much. You can check out Patreon at patreon.com/SundayStoic. I also just want to thank all of my listeners. One word of warning. I believe my website is about to expire, the SundayStoicPodcast.com. It costs, I don't know, $50, $60, $70 a year to maintain the thing, and I never look at it. I don't really care about it. So we're going to just let that fade away. So I will primarily be on Patreon, and I may one day create a blog or something of my own to put my thoughts out there, but I just don't see the point in having a website. So we'll be getting rid of that shortly. Just to warn you. But also, those of you listening in the U.S. and overseas, I do have a Sunday Stoic coin available on Etsy, and I did just switch it over so it is available for shipping in various parts of the world, especially countries where there are a lot of listeners. But bear with me, once those start selling overseas, it may take me a minute to figure out how to do all the custom stuff. But I will get those shipped as soon as I can. You can check that out on Etsy. If you type in Sunday Stoic, it should probably pop right up. So, without further ado, let's hear from Epictetus, numbers 26 through 28. Chapter 26. It is in our power to discover the will of nature from those matters on which we have no difference of opinion. For instance, when another man's slave has broken the wine cup, we are very ready to say at once, "Such things must happen." Know then that when your own cup is broken, you ought to behave in the same way as when your neighbor's was broken. Apply the same principle to higher matters. Is another's child or wife dead? Not one of us but would say, "Such is the lot of man." But when one's own dies, straightway one cries, "Alas, miserable am I!" But we ought to remember what our feelings are when we hear it from another. Chapter 27. As a mark is not set up for men to miss it, so there is nothing intrinsically evil in the world. Chapter 28. If anyone trusted your body to the first man he met, you would be indignant. But yet you trust your mind to the chance-comer, and allow it to be disturbed and confounded if he revile you. Are you not ashamed to do so? He says it is in our power to discover the will of nature from those matters on which we have no difference of opinion. So this is an important idea for the ancient Stoics. The idea that logos, the logic of reality permeates all things, that there's a divine intelligence to it, and that nature therefore has a will. But human opinion is flaky and can change, and therefore opinion can be used to find the truth, but only on things that are not disagreed upon by people. That's where we can be quite certain about where truth is. So looking outside, if it's dark, you say it is night. Everyone would agree to that. Therefore, that is, a universal truth. So what is the will of nature? And one of the best places to try to find that when you're first starting as a Stoic is to look for where there is no difference of opinion. And so he says, if someone breaks a cup, it's pretty universal to say, hey, that's a cup. Cups break. That's just going to happen. And therefore, when your own cup breaks, you have to remember that as well and apply it to yourself. But we find it's easier to apply it to others. But you might want to start by deliberately applying it to others, saying, oh, that's a thing that happens. Then, oh yeah, when it happens to me, I need to remember, hey, this is a thing that happens. And he says to do it about small things, like a cup breaking, your car breaking down, but then expand it to larger matters. And once again, the wife and the child come up. And once again, I don't think that we are going to be so heartless as to say, well, my wife was going to die anyway. She was only human. That's not it. But we will not hopefully spiral into a life-ending depression should we lose a loved one if we realize now that these are things that happen. And my take on it, my version of Stoicism, as it were, is to say, hey, my child is mortal. My wife is mortal. I am mortal. My dog is mortal. My house is only a structure that will only be around for 100 years or so, and then it will be dust if I'm lucky. I need to not take these things for granted. I need to kiss my son, hug my wife, be thankful that I have a home, pet the dog. Not to live like not to live in giving abandon to all virtue and being hedonic, essentially, but instead to be thankful for what I have, and remembering that one day these people will be gone forever. I will be gone. To live now and appreciate things now while I can. Be virtuous while I can. So, in the next reading, it's a very short one. It says, a mark is not set up for men to miss it. So there is nothing intrinsically evil in the world. This one I have a little harder time figuring out, but I've read some commentary on this one saying that if the universe is divine, all things are happening because of the benevolent nature of the universe. Therefore, there is nothing intrinsically evil with the way the world operates. That doesn't mean we can't do something wrong, but nature as a whole just is, or you could say nature as a whole is good. One way to think about how the world works. The second reading, or the third reading, I should say, one we've done before on the show, but a very important one. If someone else just handed you off to the first person that walked by, said, "Hey, you're now this person's slave," you would say, "What the heck? That's not right. That's not fair. This is terrible. I will not stand for it." But at the same time, we are completely willing to let someone else take over our mind, to occupy our minds. Someone is mean to you, and you'll stew on it for a week. If at least a day, perhaps a week. You let someone occupy your brain. Epictetus says, "Are you not ashamed of this? Can you not just let this go? You wouldn't let them have your body. Don't let them have your mind." So, we need to work on our opinions, not allowing the words and actions of others affect us deeply. Let things go. Realizing that Mother Nature herself is not inherently evil. She just is. Things happen. And we know we can be confident that certain things will happen. We will lose loved ones. We will lose those nearest to us. We will lose our favorite cup. And so when we build up this knowledge, we can inoculate ourselves against the changing whims of fortune by acknowledging that things are temporary, that things will pass, that things will not go the way we wish. And this will help us to be resilient when that change comes. Not that we will be unaffected like a stone. We are not statues. But we will bend instead of break. Something to think about. Thank you all for listening once again. Have a great week. Seize the day. Shoot me an email, sundaystoic@gmail.com. Let me know where you're listening from and how things are going. And until we talk again, Carpe Diem.
Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic. Become a member of the Sunday Stoic team. Earn rewards by becoming a patron at www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. Contact the show by emailing sundaystoic@gmail.com. And as Steve always says, Carpe Diem.